Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the NECC Games channel. I am Booker DeWitt, and I'm joined tonight by my guest, Bass from the past. Bass, how we doing? Are we ready to do it?
I'm doing phenomenal, Booker. Let's do this as we are going to move into our final game of the night. No, ladies and gentlemen, you are not seeing the one, the only Booker. We will unfortunately have to break the facade at some point.
Yeah.
Chase Nuclear Nukem back in the booth once again. How are you doing today, my friend? It is good to have you back for our final game of the night. There are those luscious locks. Oh, yes, let me see them.
Whew, I couldn't wear it for too long. You know, that isn't my thing, but, you know, there was a little bit of a joke last week that I was tagged in the NECC Games, or I wasn't tagged in the NECC Games post, but Booker was. So, you know, Chase, it's a little fun. But I can tell you what, I am so hyped for the match tonight. We got Boise State Blue, we got Montana. We're going to put them in a pin together, and they're just going to duke it out.
Absolutely. These are two teams from the upper division, Champions Division, Division 1 on the West Coast here. Both of them have had, well, we'll call it a rougher start here, as they're both 1-2 coming into this one. But this is a chance for both of them to try and turn this one around. Solid squads on both ends. Both of them have played phenomenally so far here. So above all, everything else, I'm expecting a good game out of the two of these guys. This is going to be a battle back and forth. And honestly, I could not have asked for a better way to finish off the evening here, especially with you, Chase. Welcome back to the booth, my friend. Usually it's you and I opening it up, but decided this week, let's change it around. Finish it off with the two of us, you know?
Yeah, it made perfect sense to me. And after watching last series, you know, they went to game 4, and I was watching you and Leachy cast, and you guys were just tearing it up in the booth. If you guys didn't catch that game, got to go back in the VOD, catch it later. But what I will say is tonight, we have a team that won week 1 versus a team that won last week. So we're going to see how the momentum carries into this week. Boise State Blue won last week 3-1 against Northern Kentucky University. And Montana Montana, week 1 won 3-0 against Bethel. But last week they lost against Alabama Crimson. So we'll have to see how that leads into this week. I got to say, I'm super excited to be here tonight. I'm elated to see what these games are going to look like. And, you know, I'm happy to be closing out the night. You guys are in Eastern time. You're a little bit ahead of me. So this is only 10 o'clock for me, baby. This is prime time.
Oh, I can beat you there, brother. It is 8:22 for me. I'm even earlier. I'm out here in the West Coast representing the West Division, which is playing right now. We have got both teams on the pitch battling it out. Montana in the orange. It's going to be Boise in the blue. And it looks like it's going to be Boise to start us off already. 1-0 here in only 10 seconds.
Knock coming off the Cosmic Buster. That was just that was a textbook play there. Went right off the backboard, saw the rotate, came in, knocked it in.
Oh, good stuff already here from Boise. Let's see if they can keep the momentum. Oh, it looks like it's going to be harder than we had already thought. Montana back on offense here. Heads can't get the shot on target, though. Cosmo Buster has to readjust and try to get a 50. But I don't think it's going to be the end of the offense quite yet. Montana aren't done. And as Ace Pocket flips into the corner to try and keep possession, it's going to be contested 50 after contested 52 in a row. But they both go to Boise. A little bit of a weird play from Cosmo to finish it off. No offense will arrive because of it. So a little bit of awkward play here. But it's the first game. It's time for them to get the nerves out of the way. It's time for them to figure out how they want to play. Plenty of time to keep those weird touches. But definitely not favorable if you're down 1-0.
Oh, yeah, 100%. We're seeing a lot of 50s grinding in the air as well. So we're going to see, like Baynock coming up to challenge that right now. And Ace Pocket going in for the goal. Not going to be able to get it, though. But I think in the series, we are going to see a lot of air challenges, which I love to see in the upper division, right? You have the confidence to go up there and challenge. And you have to have the angles and the trajectory to get there in the right amount of time, right? And to be able to accurately challenge. So I'm really eager to see what they're going to be able to do, but I don't know. UMT is not able to really get a grip here as they're just sort of defending and not able to get back on the other side of the field.
Yeah, they're trying to get some sort of offense together here, but apparently they don't have to play a defense. The post will do it for them. 2 shots in a row that don't go through. AZ going to make a really nice save there, actually. That might hold off the offense for long enough that they can, no, not transition into an offense. Good challenge out of Ace Pocket is going to continue. Boise, though, again, the accuracy. I want to say, how many shots do they have now? They already have 8 shots, but only 1 goal to show for it. It has been all offense for Boise, but imagine if the accuracy was there, they'd be even more dominant here. Montana have to be graceful with what they play from here on out. They're not going to get many opportunities like this, and finally they will capitalize. Head's going to put one in, and we are all tied up yet again.
Oh yeah, that was a great tie-up from Heads too. Seeing the opportunity off of A's and being able to just get past the Boise defense there. I don't think that they were ready for them to score off of that.
1-1 it becomes here. Over half of the game left. This is going to be an interesting back and forth here. This first game definitely also looks a little bit awkward. I don't think this is going to be the type of play. What a save out of Baynock that we're going to see the entire game here. I think that this is truly the warm-up game for both of these squads, and later on into the series we'll start to see their full potential. The interesting thing is, though, whichever team does take this first one will have a little bit of breathing room, as they will have at least 1 win on the board. And, well, it could be an influential one. 1-1, 2:15 left. Let's see if maybe Boise can try and slot something in here. It's a good touch from Baynock, but it will not be on target. Cosmo Buster will continue the offense, but no real shot comes through. And again, this is the difference we're seeing with these teams right now. I feel like they're both getting some decent offensive possessions, but when it comes to, you know, that final shot, it's just not really that powerful.
Right, but we've talked about this before, right? It's game 1, like you said earlier, and in game 1, you're just kind of feeling out your opponent, especially in the first couple minutes. I love that we have a best-of-5 series, and I love that the format is best-of-5 for this reason. Ace Pocket going up, guarding 2, not going to be able to get the 3rd, and Heads is going to score. Watch, there's 1. Baynock coming up, he's like, oh, I got it. Ace is like, no, I got it. And Heads said, nah, bro. I
should have been Ace the whole time. Ace should have had that the first one, and unfortunately, as Baynock cuts him off, it's going to be too easy of an option for an easy slot there out of UMT. Heads taking 2 goals already. Matter of fact, the lead scorer and the lead defender right now at 2 and 2, 2 goals, 2 saves. Really doing a great job in this first game here, giving what could be the win to Montana. But at a minute 30, there's definitely enough time for a comeback to arrive out of Boise State, and especially with only a 1 goal difference, this is going to be a tense last minute here, especially as Boise look to go on to offense. Good touch out of Bowtie. He's going to clear it out of the half, though. Montana might buy themselves a little bit of time. Oh, but as 2 defenders are going to get beat, it's AZ, the last one back, that just tries to delay. Baynock, though, doesn't get a touch, and all of a sudden we've got some midfield presence here. This is something Boise cannot afford. Mistouches like that give up possessions on the opponent's half are just not going to be not only beneficial, they're not possible to win with. So we need to see Boise use these offensive possessions and truly turn them into a chance to finish their attack. Speaking of which, that touch out of Cosmo really not going to help, and again, it's back to that finishing touch. Boise just don't seem to have it right now.
Wow, and Bowtie and AZ were not able to capitalize off of that because they were really, really late on that rotate, or early, I guess I should say, on that rotate. You know, looking at it, Ace has a really, really similar score as well to Heads right now, but the difference in the 2 players is Heads has gotten the 2 out of the 4 shots he shot, he's gotten 2 goals. And unfortunately, Ace hasn't been able to do that. But, you know, looking at the team comp, we're able to see Boise. Oh, Boise almost getting a goal there. We're able to see they're having definitive roles being played on their team, right? It looks like Baynock's going a lot for the shots. Ace is going a lot for the setup. And Cosmo Buster is just bullying out here. If you're not watching, he is straight up just hitting the other cars. But it's not really going to matter either way because first game's going to go to UMT.
Yeah, Montana taking an early lead there and just sort of holding on to it. Well, I can't say an early lead, I should say, but a lead at a certain point that was really, you know, there was enough time left that if they had buckled down on defense, they would be able to survive, and that's exactly what they did. They didn't necessarily take the plethora of shots that Boise, matter of fact, more than doubled their shots in that game. So really an aggressive UMT we did not see, but a very aggressive Boise State that couldn't quite finish the job. I really do wonder, Boise State, if their accuracy was just a tad bit better, would they have won this game in style? They had so many shots that just rang off the post or the backboard or the top bar, just weren't on target. So if Boise State can make their shooting a little bit more accurate, I think they could probably take game number 2 and possibly the series.
So looking at textbook wise, right? Looking at this game, I really thought that Boise was going to win it out because of all the shots that they were taking. They were ringing them off the backboard, like you were saying, but they weren't finishing it out, right? It doesn't matter if you know the math equation. It doesn't matter if you know the process. You got to be able to finish, right? And what we saw from Montana was they played it cool. They took their time at the beginning, and they saw and adapted to those opportunities in front of them. So that's why they had less shots, but their defense was sound. They were coming out with the rotates, and they were seeing those opportunities as they were opening up. And that's how you're going to define a team that's playing in the moment from a team that's just playing off of a playbook.
Yeah, this is going to be a very telling game number 2, to put it simply here. If we see that, the matchups of styles like you were mentioning just straight up do not click, it's going to probably be a pretty favorable game to UMT, but I don't think that's what we're going to see here. Oh my word, what a save out of Bowtie there. I have a feeling these two teams might be able to make adjustments as time goes on. They are more than good enough to be able to do so. So game number 2 going to be an interesting one for sure. Could be another win here for Montana as they're already on the offense, though. And again, they have been lethal in their striking.
Yeah, you have to watch Cosmic Buster on this field, man. He is going for the 50s. He is being so aggressive on the other team, just bumping every chance he gets. As I say that, Heads is going to take out 2, leaving the goal wide open. Ace Pocket's not going to be able to get it, though. What? They didn't score off of that.
How did AZ not put that one through? That should have been the end of that. Montana should be up 1-0 now. Now instead they have to endure an offense coming out of Boise, and as there's a demo in the corner, it's an awkward play, but Ace won't go up for it at all, and AZ will get some revenge demos on the other end. This one looks like all of a sudden it's going to be a bit more high octane than the first one. First game was a little bit of awkwardness as they tried to feel each other out. Game number 2 is, let's just, take the silencers off. Full guns a-blazing here as AZ makes another save. Oh my word, I didn't think my heart could take the last series. This one might be a tad too much.
This went from just a seasonal Rocket League game to an all-out brawl between these two teams. Went from 0 to 60 in about 2 seconds. I'm eager to see how this plays out. We're literally a minute and a half in. No one's been able to score, whether it be off flubs and defense. Bay not going in. Head's going to come back out. Combo Buster busted off the top again, but AZ is going to be able to get control, go back down midfield. They're just going back and forth.
Yeah, this isn't really advantageous to either team. It's kind of going to be one random play that separates the two of them, and it's going to be pretty hard to predict which team's going to be the one to do so. It really just looks about as even as possible here. This challenge out of Heads is going to give a little bit of momentum to Montana. Can they capitalize upon this? Bowtie going to rip one high. Cosmo can't quite get to it. Is there going to be a shot? No. Heads gets blocked by Ace Pocket, and that opportunity is cut off again. Seriously, this is just a ping pong match at this point. Back and forth and back and forth. No clear winner right now. And with half the game gone at 0-0, I have a feeling this first goal might just be the one to break the tie and to really take the win.
It's really seeing too when they're put in the position to score here, it's more out of acts of desperation. It's not actually calculated plays from what I'm seeing. It's more, oh, the ball's right there, I gotta go for the shot, right? And you can't play like that at this level because Bowtie's gonna sneak in like a gentleman and steal it from you.
Yeah, panic touches all around Baynocked. It wasn't sure what to do with that one on the wall, and as the player underneath them, which I believe was Cosmo, was in the corner, it's 2 players out of position. Ace Pocket desperately tries to get back, and as the rotation just breaks down, that's really all it's going to be. That's the type of level we have here in the Champions Division in the West Coast. One mistake can be the downfall of your team for that game, and really could be the downfall of the series if Montana manages this. If Montana takes this game, they are up 2-0, and they require a reverse sweep out of Boise if they want to try and bring this one back. Definitely not the position that Boise want to be in. So in this last minute 45, they've got to get something together here. Otherwise, it's going to be possibly game over. But the offense starting to build. Maybe they can get something together.
100% agree with you, Bass. I really think at this point it's going to come down to who's able to get the shots on goal, right? Like I said earlier, Montana's able to see, has an eye for those opportunities, really able to see it. And unfortunately, we're just seeing Boise, while they're creating the shots, they're not able to finish. Their angles are off. They keep hitting the backboard and they're not able to focalize. If they can really bunker it down in the next minute, I really think they can bring it back. But if they can't, this is going to be a Montana series.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that it really does seem like Montana are getting better with better in time. So if they take the momentum here, I do worry for what we're going to see out of them in game number 3. Not for the fact that I don't think it's going to be impressive, but it might be too dominant for Boise to stop. Luckily, I don't think we're going to get there. First shot all game out of Ace Pocket, and it is a beautiful one. Sees the last defender net, pops it into the top left corner, and we are all tied up at 1 apiece.
That was exactly what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted from Boise State Blue. That was a great shot from Ace Pocket. Great pass from Baynock. That's what they needed to get themselves back on the scoreboard. 40 seconds left, 1-1. We have a close game, folks.
And all of a sudden, they're trying a lot more intricate plays on offense. They seem revitalized, but they can't overcommit. If they completely abandon their defense, they will get punished. And as it's a desperation double commit in front of the net, I think Montana are just about ready to start building an offense. Can they finish this one before we head to overtime? Oh, wait a minute. Counterattack. Baynock has the double tap and is going to put this one in. All of a sudden, from 1-0 Montana to 2-1 Boise, they look to finish this one in style.
Baynock heard exactly what I was saying earlier. He had to have. He like, his past 2 setups have been amazing. His angles are on point. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. And with 12 seconds left, being up 1 point, this is exactly where Boise wanted to find themselves at the end of game 2.
Oh my word, and Boise look to even up the series now after what looked like a Montana game number 2. Boise all of a sudden, the last minute or so, just turned on the Jets, said, hey, you guys want to win now? And just all of a sudden, incredible shots raining down upon UMT. Montana gonna have to go back to the drawing board because, I mean, listen, that looked like a pretty standard game for Montana. Very similar to how they played in the first one, yet somehow BSU just took away all that momentum.
6 shots from Baynock, more than the rest of the whole lobby combined. Baynock is the one who knocks. He is the Heisenberg of Rocket League. He is here to take it tonight. I don't know. After that performance from Baynock, if we see what Ace Pocket did game 1, come back game 2, we see Combo Buster continue to just bust up Montana, I don't know if Bowtie Heads and AZ are going to be able to fight against this.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing, is we're starting to see a bit more of a flow out of Boise. I feel like we're starting to see the positions that they want these players in. Baynock, obviously, that upfront player who's just going to be aggressive. Ace Pocket really has played all around the field, good on defense, offense, and in that midfield. Meanwhile, Cosmo Busters kind of just filling in the slots that they can't cover. So that's pretty much perfect right now for BSU. If they've got a winning strategy, stick to it. The question is what type of adjustments we see out of Montana. You know for certain Montana are definitely not going to be going down without a fight, especially after how they looked in game number 1. If they can return to form, I think we're going to see all 5 games in this series, but game number 3 is going to be telling for sure. Boise have the momentum on their back here. Let's see if they can continue it into this 3rd game.
100%. And, we're going into the 3rd game. It's just like you said. And it's like I said earlier. Boise has the playbook. They know exactly what to do. Not to say Montana doesn't, but Montana is really shining in those opportunistic plays. They're really shining and being able to be adaptive to the strategy ahead of them. And if they're able to continue adapting through the set, well, we're just going to see them continue to adapt to the strategy. They're going to be unstoppable. So going into this game, it's anyone's game at this point. It's going to depend on, who's able to play off of those really opportunities.
Oh, and it looks like so far, oh my word, Montana might be the one. AZ almost got another ridiculous dunks. That's been the trend for me. So far each week, we see one sort of pre-flip that just somehow makes it past the defense and just gets dunked on. So if I see 2 here and someone pulls it off, I might just have to straight up, leave my chair. That's the end of my cast forever. I can, retire in peace. But for right now, it looks like I might be able to retire in peace if we see some nutso shots out of Boise. They are absolutely aggressive. They are are on a tear right now. They've taken the momentum from game number 3 and elevated it further, as it's been all offense for Boise so far here in game number 4.
Oh, 100%, but they are going to get a really good demo there, and this could be a goal. No, they're going to be able to respawn. Montana's going to be able to take it downfield. I got to say, too, I love this map. This is making me feel a certain type of way. You know, the summer vibe. I love it. You know who doesn't love it? Bowtie, as he tries to make his way downfield to stop the ball that's just lackadaisically going downfield toward his goal. Where was Montana? Hello? You guys around?
It looks like they had 2 players up at midfield there, which is not always a bad idea, but when they're basically at the midfield boosts on each end, there's a giant hole in the middle. I'm all for an aggressive offense. I'm all for an aggressive defense. If you want to play like that, that's fine, but you have to have the recoveries to get back whenever a mistake is made. However, speaking of mistakes being made, okay, I thought Bowtie put that one wide. Oh my word. Listen, I know he wouldn't have heard the end of it in comms, but if he had missed that one here, he would have heard the end of it in the cast.
Oh my gosh, I'm right there with you. I thought Bowtie was about to miss his shot, his opportunity, and he didn't. You know, he was able to make it. That's good. We're going to tie it up 1-1, 2 minutes in, and strong showing from both teams. Honestly, like you said, we are seeing Boise be very aggressive right now, but it doesn't matter. It's going to hit off the backboard. Is there a magnet on the backboard for Boise? Because Cosmo's going to strip away the magnetism and smack it in. Let's see this. He said, I'm gonna play off of my own.
Oh my word, Cosmo Buster. Not only is he pulling off a ridiculous double touch, doing it in the Jeep. I gotta say, I don't see the Jeep a lot in competitive scenarios, so I appreciate it. If you guys don't know what that's from, back before Rocket League went free to play, you could buy DLC packs from certain different stuff, and Jurassic Park did one with a Jeep and a Tyrannosaurus, what was it, goal explosion there. So love to see the throwback. Love that he is stunting while in it here and possibly giving his team the win as they are up 2-1 here. 2:40 left though, plenty of time for a comeback out of Montana, and Montana definitely has awoken here in this game. I don't know if they're necessarily back to form. Never mind, totally back to form. AZ gonna hit a nutty angle out from the side, says, I don't need any help from my team. Let me just get around 2 defenders by myself.
No, listen. Whenever he hits shots like that, the pure skill, he's not AZ, he's AZ. Knocking it in easy. 2-2, 2:30 on the clock. We are tied up in this game 3.
All of a sudden, we see that this could be the series of the day, especially as the hits never stop here. This is something we always talk about. If you can take advantage of the misplays on the back end, you will be the team to win. And as it's an awkward touch off the back from Baynok, Heads will see it way ahead of time. And 3-2, back in the lead is Montana.
What is even happening right now? They went their first match, they went a whole 3 minutes without scoring. And here we are, 3 minutes in, 5 shots on the clock, and both teams are looking very good right now.
This is going to be a battle and a half, I can tell you what. Listen, we said that this would be 2 of the heavy hitters from the West Coast, and we thought this would be a good series, but man, has this been an explosive one for sure. If a goal comes through, it's going to be one that has you either scratching your head or having your jaw drop. Speaking of which, Soho's hitting a ridiculous touch off the backboard there, but unfortunately, it will not happen, and instead, Boise will remain at 1 down here. Maybe they could go down 2 here. Oh my word! Bowtie with a heads-up play. This was mind games plus skill. Bowtie knew that they were expecting a pass to the center here, so he says, why not just take a shot? Baynok way out of position because he had no idea that was arriving. And 4-2, Montana take a 2-goal lead.
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you right now, Montana's got not just the bow tie, but the full suit right now as they are completely styling on Boise in this game. There's been so many weird flicks that have just gone their way. That's so insane to me. But now we're seeing 4-2. It's gonna be more on the side of Montana going this way. And man, Boise's got to kick it up. I really think the name of the game at this point, Bass, is going to be counterplay, because we're seeing a lot of shots being taken, but not a lot of capitalization and a whole lot of styling.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of styling, which is really going to leave room for those counterattacks. Like you said, usually it's an open defense, and if you can capitalize upon it, that's going to be the difference. AZ showing us a perfect example of what a counterattack is like as they take advantage of a perfect 50 out at midfield from Bowtie. Montana have made those adjustments that we were talking about, Chase. All of a sudden, they look dominant here in game number 3.
100%. Wow, and you're 100 like on the nail. They've made all the adjustments that we've wanted from them this set, and they are really shining through this game. 100%. And wow, Boise has got to do what they can to come back in this next game. I don't know if they try to save this one. They're 3 shots down, 30 seconds left. I just really think they spend the rest of this time preparing for the next set, at least going for 1 goal, getting good shots, good plays, and staying in their goal.
Yeah, we need to see a little bit more of a defensive Boise here. I feel like they realized, oh, hey, our offense is seeming to click today, so why don't we just, throw all of it at offense? And, well, when you do that, you leave holes on the back end. Bowtie going to put in a 6th goal here, but it's a bit of an uneventful one as we pretty much knew the outcome before this even happened. So I think instead of, highlighting this goal, we'll move on to the future here. Chase, we need to see an adjustment out of Boise for sure. I think that it probably needs to come from the fact that they need to play a bit more of a defensive game, but I'm interested in your thoughts. How does Boise turn this one around and take us to game number 5?
Carr and goal, ace good. That's all I gotta say. They the whole time, every time that they've got shot on that game, it was because they weren't there, right? You have to be there to be able to defend, and I think that just comes down to the unfortunate timing of their rotations. They've got to slow it down. They've got to, someone's got to IGL at this point and be like, look, guys, I'm first, you're second, he's third. We're rotating around. This is how we're doing it. When we're back, don't stay midfield. Go back to goal. Go back on our side, right? Because if there's a stray shot that goes through, it's just going to go in because no one's there. And they fought that all game.
Yeah, we have to see adjustments out of Boise. Just plain and simple, they have to play a completely different game than they played here. The uber aggressive, super in-your-face attitude just doesn't work against Montana. And this is something we had mentioned going into this game, was that sometimes it's just not the right matchups for certain teams. And for Boise right now, their usual style of play does not match up against Montana at all. They've got to try something different because Montana has one of the most lethal counterattacks I've seen in all of the NECC. So Boise State going to this next one need to rely on their defense a whole lot more. 2 total saves the entire game is not nearly enough. We've got to see a change, and I do believe they can do so. Again, I have the faith that this game is going to go to game number 5. I think this series has the making to be one of the great ones, but it's all going to depend on what we see out of Boise here in game number 4. If they can put on a stellar show, we move to game number 5. Otherwise, this is the end of the road for them, and they lose and go down to 1-3. Let's see what they've got.
100%. I would love to see a little bit more creativity out of Boise going into this game. That was so close from Ace Pocket. Yes, it's taking everything I have right now not to freak out.
I just about threw my headphones at my monitor. You're talking about creativity. It's a perfect pass. They have the vision. They have the accuracy. They don't have that final shot. They do have this one, though, apparently. You know what? Screw it. Why would you ever do a nice passing play that turns into like a super cool goal? Just have heads not touch the ball. That'll work. 1-0. Boise somehow find an early lead.
I'm not gonna lie, watching AZ just kind of glide past the goal there kind of looked like when you're playing any secret mission in a FPS ever and there's guards just walking by, right? They're just like monitoring, they're just like, yeah, I'm here, I'm on guard duty. But he wasn't able to really do much off of that, right? And like I said at the beginning, I think it's gonna go into the creativity of this game. Boise have had a couple of great shots. Maybe it's just the scenery. Maybe they needed another change of scenery going into this round because Cosmo Buster gonna bust it to the stars, seeing his opportunity. This is exactly what I said earlier. Just take your time and wait because there's so many mess ups that are going on right now. There's so many flubs. You just have to be able to counterattack.
It's mind-boggling that we're having these flubs 4 games into the series. You thought that you'd see the peak offense and defense out of these two teams, but instead, it's just absolute chaos arising. Oh, there is the peak that we were waiting for. Finally, we see some excellence in action as AZ grows cross-court to pass this one to Bowtie. What an amazing shot and good free jump. That was excellent.
This is all business as he puts on the bow tie. He's able to smack it in. Man, Bowtie and AZ playing out of their minds tonight on the side of Montana, really doing what it takes to win this series. But Boise is still up too. And once again, I think this is just going back to what we said at the beginning of the set. No, they're not going to be able to make it there. They're going to tie it up. What a play here. I got to look it back to even see Bowtie pass mid, and AZ just went off of the pass. No one was there. They're making the same mistakes they made last game. Boise has got to slow down.
They've got to change this posture that they have right now. When you see a player get demoed out at midfield and you're the last one back, your initial thought should not be, I got a challenge here, because it's going to lead to momentum for Montana. They were up 2-0 within a minute, Chase. Now all of a sudden they're down 3-2. This is an absolute crumble out of Boise.
Yeah, and like we said at the beginning of the set, these teams were just warming up. If you're here now, this is their peak. This has got to be where they were warming up too, right? They're ready to go.
You'd have to imagine, but as we see so many weird touches and misplays and misrotations and just oddities on both ends of the field, I'm just wondering what's going on as Bowtie and Heads both go for the same ball. Ace Pocket misses it though, and so does the other defender. Bowtie puts in a 4th one here. I can't wrap my head, I literally cannot wrap my head around this. This is Division 1, folks, and I'm seeing the most chaotic gameplay we've seen all day.
Okay, we see some crazy aerial plays from some of the other people in Division 1, but we are seeing
people. They just did it.
That's perfectly fair. What we're seeing from Montana right now is nothing short of a breakdance in Rocket League, because this is an art form. They are styling so much. They're going for very simple plays, but they're waiting for Boise to commit to the defense and then capitalizing on their misplay.
Just over and over again, Boise make the same sort of mistakes that we had seen before, and it's starting to wear on them too. You can see that Boise, their self-confidence is lowering, and they're starting to get in their own heads here as they hesitate way more than they need to. This is game point for Montana, I should say. If they don't start treating this like it's win or go home, Boise are going to be going home with their head in their hands here as they're down 2 and they haven't seen nearly the offensive efforts they should have because their defense is lacking so aggressively they just don't get the opportunities. 2 minutes left here. There's such a good chance for Boise to bring this back, but they've got to play more aggressively. I know we had been talking about how they had played too aggressively previously, but going all defense and just waiting for the ball to come to you is not the adjustment that is needed.
They have to be sound on their rotates. They have to be sound on these 50s. They have to go for the passing plays like they were the first 2 games, and even partially last game. When we see Boise mess up, we're not seeing Montana let off the gas.
That's the other thing. Again, this is sometimes what separates teams is capitalizations upon your opponent's mistakes. And yes, we are starting to see them play a little bit less aggressively, so there are less mistakes. Oh, but unfortunately, they're still not getting the final shots there. Another huge opportunity for Boise, and it will not be capitalized upon. Maybe a good aerial out of Baynock could do something, but the flip reset does not come after the attempt, and unfortunately, it looks like it could be the end of the offense. Matter of fact, it's the end of the play altogether. A breakdown on the back end is going to leave an open net for Bowtie. This was 2 players challenging on the wall. It just cannot happen at this level.
Watching Baynock go for that flip reset and not get it at the most crucial time when he needed to. You know, I have a single tear just currently going down my cheek. Really wanted to see it for him, but man, Montana is going to be able to get that 3rd goal. Bowtie is just going to freeload this. He's going to take it. He sees it bounce off the wall and he said, I'm going to take this 50. Because where was Baynock got bumped? I didn't even see Bowtie bumped Baynock. That's why he wasn't able to defend it.
All right, well, I'll hold my criticisms then. I was going to say it's another opportunity with an open net, but nice bump, heads up play, and all of a sudden it's looking like Montana truly are the dominant team here in this one. Yes, there's a minute left, but honestly, with how hard it's been for Boise to get a goal on the board whatsoever, I think that we're about done here. Montana really put on one heck of a performance the last couple of games in this series. They went from, okay, maybe they could try and take this, you know, good game number one. Maybe if they return to form, they can try and play competitively with Boise too. Oh my gosh, Montana look dominant. They absolutely put on a show the last two games of this series, and it really goes to show you how good of a team they are. Boise, another really solid squad. They have been a very good team for a long time, but Montana just had the right type of style here today. Truly a perfect matchup for them.
Oh, 100%. I love watching Boise, too. Boise is such an entertaining team. But truthfully, after watching the set, I gotta say Montana is probably one of my favorite teams to watch in all of the NECC because of their style, because of the opportunities that they set for themselves, and because they dance all over the graves of their enemies, and dang it, I respect it.
And indeed, they're going to do exactly that as they put in a 7th goal here. 5 seconds left on the clock. They might even score an 8th, considering how quickly they're able to commit onto these offenses. And as Heads tries to keep this one up, no one's back. Bowtie should have the double touch. No, instead, Heads will get it. Indeed, they will put in an 8th, and an unrelenting, no mercy Montana will take the series.
Wow, yeah, that was, I did not see Montana being able to score on the shot clock like that, but they did. And Montana really proved in that game 4 that, one, it was not going to a game 5, and 2, they were warmed up. And I think tonight, Boise just didn't get to that point. As we see it come out, Bowtie had 6 shots, Heads had 5, and AZ had 3.
Just absolute aggression out of Montana. Phenomenal stuff all around. Honestly, this is one of those series that you look back upon and you go, man, if it had just gone a little bit differently in some of those games, you wonder what happened for Boise. If Boise take the first one, do they move into the second one, get those 2 games and just ride the momentum into the third? The world will never know. Or, well, maybe they'll know. Again, both of these teams played phenomenally here. They do have enough time left in the season. Yes, Boise are going to drop to 1-3, but they've got more than enough time left in the season that maybe we see a rematch in the playoffs, question mark. We'd hope so, but for right now, we're just going to hope that these teams are going to be able to take the wins and the losses that they got here today and move with them and try and grow from them. Hopefully we have, the Montana team celebrating as they should, because that truly was a phenomenal win out of them. Congratulations to Montana. Chase, what a series we just had.
Honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better way to end out the night. Went fishing with the bass, and I found a boot that was dancing in the water, and it was a great time. I would love to really see anyone from Montana at this point just pick their brain about that game, because there was a lot in that match where everyone on Montana was just playing in the moment. They were waiting for the right timing. They were looking for those windows to open, and they just seized the day at the end of the day.
Yeah, it was just well played out of Montana all around. And again, the biggest thing about that really, it just warms my heart as a Rocket League caster and as a person who's been around the scene for so long to see this. There are a lot of teams that, they go down in the series and all of a sudden they decide, all right, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to buckle down. The strategy that we had earlier, just run it as hard as we can. That is the opposite what we saw to Montana there. They actually started to adjust. They made the necessary adjustments after taking that loss, and they went from a team that looked like, oh, we were good in game number 1 to a team in game 3 that was, we are great. We are here to prove that we can take down the best of them. So, again, really solid game out of Montana all around. This is some much-needed momentum from them, and this is just well played in every single aspect. The defense stepped up when it needed to. The offense looked explosive, and they shut down Boise even in their best of states. So, well done all around to Montana. Seriously, an impressive game.
Yeah, 100%. I think you're right on the nail with that. And it's like we said earlier, I'll keep preaching it. At the beginning of the night, game 1, whenever you're watching any collegiate Rocket League, 9 times out of 10, right? If it's 2 teams that are just kind of getting ready, that game 1's there's not going to be a whole lot of points. They're just testing the waters. And fortunately, as we're looking out into the waters, we're seeing Montana joining us in chat. Not one player, not two players, but the whole team. Montana, how are you guys feeling?
Feeling good,
God.
man.
Feeling great.
Feeling so
Heck
good.
yeah.
We are glad to hear it. You guys are all very enthusiastic. I see that you're riding the wind pretty well here. After what was a bit of a shaky start at 1-2, how good does it feel to even yourselves back on up?
Oh, it feels so nice. Yeah, we were definitely struggling, especially on defense and some of our plays, but especially for the last 2 games to, get as many goals as we did. It was definitely nice. It was really nice.
Yeah, you guys were definitely playing in the moment tonight. 100%. How did it feel? There was a lot of plays out there where it just felt like pure style from you guys. Were you guys just waiting for those counter plays?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind
Yeah.
of like saw they were messing up a little bit, so we just like playing super fast and consistent touches. And I mean, a lot of our goals were because they either pushed up too far or like just misses on defense. So we were just kind of staying ready and playing fast.
I mean,
Bow
you
tie.
did exactly that. That's exactly what I was going to say before. Sorry, Chase, not to cut you off, my friend. I was going to say that's pretty much exactly what we did. Were you guys aware of that was the strategy that would be winning going into game number 3? Because game number 2, were mentioning a bunch in the here in the cast that, we need to see adjustments out of Montana to where they played a little bit more aggressively, and they made those, you guys started playing a lot more aggressively. You started really cutting off the angles that everybody off of Boise had. How aware were you of those changes going out of game number 2, or was it just sort of, feel that out in game number 3, figure out what's going to go on?
Well, yeah, I think
I was going to say that, we had a plan coming into this against Boise. We've played Boise a lot of times, and we kind of know it's been the same 3 players for a while, so we kind of know what to expect. And that all sort of fell apart game 3. By the time we got to game 3, it was just kind of reactive play. And that's what solo queuing before you start playing a match is going to do for you. Will make you a really reactive player. So we had a proactive strategy games 1 and 2. And at that point, I think the players just realized that it was time to just turn on the jets and just attack and challenge and be really, really fast, and worked out.
Yeah, especially for Bowtie. Bowtie, you were schmoving on him, my dude. What's going through your mind right now?
Oh, I'm very happy. My teammates feed me the ball, and I'm in the right spot. That's basically it. They got to feed me the ball well, and they did. So
yeah, no, they like I was saying all cast. If you go back and you listen to it, I was saying that you guys were creating those windows of opportunity, and it really looked like Boise came in with a great playbook. But like Blitz said, I think it's important just at times to just turn off the brain and just let your heart guide you, right? If you see those opportunities, go for them. And I definitely saw that in this series.
Yeah, this was a phenomenal series all around from you guys. Honestly, I don't think we can highlight it enough. You guys seriously made the necessary adjustments in every single place that was, that was needed. It really was a perfect move from game 2 to 3. You guys played phenomenally. I mean, we really don't have much more to say besides, praising you guys for what a phenomenal game. Looking ahead at your schedule, I know that it's been, like you said, a little bit of a rougher start. You guys went down to 1-2. Now you're bouncing back to 2-2. Do you guys see, what's it feeling like going into the rest of the season? Are you guys happy for the rest of it, or are you sort of, holding yourselves back for now and just waiting before the, the calm before the storm?
Yeah, I think we're definitely excited coming forward. I think we have a good looking schedule. We know a lot of these opponents. The Alabamas and the Alabama Huntsvilles are the 2 opponents we don't really know. We played for the first time the previous 2 weeks, so we're hopeful. We've played Fresno, we've played Lincoln Land, and we've played Bethel. I think we have a good plan going forward. I definitely think we can finish in the positive this season. I think it's 9 games, so I think we're looking for 6-3 is probably being hopeful at this point. But I mean, it looks good. I think with the way we played today, we can take everyone in this division, no problem.
I would 100% agree with you, Blitz. Honestly, the way that you guys played today was on another level. It was very entertaining as a caster to watch, and I'm sure very pleasing to just hit those plays at the right time, guys. So really shouting it out to you guys. What do you have for stream? What shout outs do you want to give?
I guess I just want to say that it's great to see you guys again. You know, it was last season I got to see both of you casting, and we appreciate that. So thanks to you guys at the NECC. Thanks to our broadcast team at the University of Montana. Love all the players, and I'll let them go ahead.
No other shout outs from you guys?
Yeah, AZ,
Nah,
you go first. I want to hear it.
I don't got anything, man. Shout out to Blitz. Blitz streams. There you go. Boom.
Shout out to
Easy.
Blitz. Blitz
Yeah.
is the best.
Heck yeah, Blitz for sure.
Y'all gotta quit gassing him up like that.
No. That's what we do, and then off the stream we insult him later.
Oh,
It's a switch around. Just kidding. Just
Fair.
kidding.
As it always is, the trashing each other behind the scenes, but ride the highs while you can. And speaking of which, we will let you guys go and celebrate however you do desire. You guys doing any celebrating? Or we heard earlier today that some teams were, gonna hop in a Netflix party and just kind of watch together. You guys got any plans, or just sort of, do what you may?
Oh, we've been
Pass out. Go to
yeah,
bed.
we've been
Yeah, go to
for a long
bed.
time.
Go
I
to
think
bed. I agree.
I'm gonna let him go.
All right, well, we're going to let you guys go do that. Thank you, everybody from Montana, for you guys hopping in here today. Congratulations on the win.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Wow.
Right, well, sweet.
Wow, Bass, what a crazy night tonight. And honestly, if I had to say one last thing on my end, it would be that Meta Pro Gaming is a full-service esports management, developmental, and consulting company. Did you know that Meta provides coaching, college esports management, arena design, and equipment? And you can visit them right now. We're about done with stream. You can hop onto your browser right now and go to metaprogaming.gg to learn more.
Indeed, you can. And what a perfectly seamless transition that was. It was beautiful, Chase. And, well, unfortunately, the beauty does have to end at some point. Thank you, everybody that stuck around with us tonight. I got to open it up. I got to close it. I couldn't have asked for anything more. The NECC Rocket League week number 4 was an absolute blast. We saw some ridiculous back and forth there. And again, I mean, really, every single match we had today was an absolute banger. So we're loving the content that we're putting out. We're loving all of you guys in chat that are giving us all of this support. We absolutely appreciate it every single time. Thank you, everybody behind the scenes that helps us out. Big shout out to Caleb Glooby behind the scenes, our production manager here today, as well as the director of esports who helps us out with everything. A big shout out to Jacob Van Ryan, our commissioner, as well. But I think that is all the shout outs we've got. I'll let you, Chase. You got anyone you want to shout out real quick?
Yeah, I have one person I want to shout out. I'd like to shout out Oliver Bass from the past because this man does so much for the Rocket League section of the NECC. You guys don't know what he does behind the scenes, and man, he's just a superstar. So shout out to you, my friend.
Oh my word, you are far too kind, Chase. Thank you, Nuclear, for hopping in the booth here today. We appreciate you as well for helping us close this one out. And again, shout out to all of you guys in the audience for being here and sticking around with us today. But unfortunately, all good things must end. That is the end of the night. We will see all of you lovely people. Well, if you want to stick around for more NECC action, we'll be back here tomorrow with a different game that you'll have to find out what it is, or you can come back next week and check us out for some more Rocket League action. Your choice either way. We hope you stick around. Enjoy the rest of your night. We will see you all again soon. GG's. Have a wonderful night.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice. And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless? On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.